Welcome to Illini Guys Halftime High Live. This is Mike Kegley and Kedrick Prince. Ked, we were talking. Could we have picked a better half for the Illini?
Well, you couldn't have picked one. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I'm still, concerned long term about the big fella Tommy, but this was a half where Illinois. I didn't see them losing two games in a row, but if you know anything about Coach Brian Underwood, you knew they were going to come out and give us inspired effort. I'm really, really, really impressed with Morez Johnson. I tweeted it out. His effort, and all the kids and players are playing hard. Don't get me wrong, but Morez came out and set the tone right away. His energy level is great. I'm also impressed with Jake Davis's energy level. They are just laying it on the floor. Everybody is. This is what Illinois basketball is like, and they're doing this right now without KJ. He only has 2 points, Mike.
Yeah, I thought what was really interesting about this half was the way that you had, Morez plays hard all the time, but he's actually getting the benefit of the doubt on the calls, because I felt like in a couple games, if he played defense, he was penalized for it. And today, I think they're calling it fair and square. And I don't know. I wish there was more consistency from the refs. Where a kid, I don't care whether it's an Illini or whether it's somebody from Northwestern or another one, another school. I just wish they were able to plan and know what a foul is and what it's not.
Well, right now, it seems to be working in Morez's favor, which I like, because we've all talked about wanting to see him play and, see him on the court, and they're allowing that right now, and he's smart about it. Defensively, you talk about just being a difference maker. From that standpoint, the Illini aren't missing a beasage. I think right now, if they're missing anything, it's just 3-point shooting. That's number one. And then I think it affects KJ's game a little bit, which we talked about before, because they play a good two-man game together, Ibisic and KJ. But when you look at Morez right now, he has 5 points and 5 rebounds and 60 minutes of action. I'm trying to see his block shots, because his block shots, I don't know, 3. Morez. Yeah, because I'm telling you, he's gone up and gotten a couple of them, and he looks really, really good at he's doing it. And I'll tell you, defensively, they've done a really good job against Northwestern. Martinelli's only 2 for 11. That was a matchup, I think, if you go back when they played Northwestern the first time, a lot of us want to see Morez, challenge him a little bit. So good job by the coaching staff. Finish the game. If I want to see right now, I want to finish this, put their foot to the pedal. Don't give Northwestern any life. Don't, yes, they're going to make a couple shots, but get going, because you don't know when you're going to get a beat back. Just get going.
Yeah, every one of these wins is really important, and I think we've talked time and time again. You've got to win the home games, and with Illinois losing 2 at home, that is. I hate to use the word unacceptable, but that's not what Illini basketball has typically been about. Nor Brad Underwood coached basketball. You got to defend your home court. This is a heck of an effort for one half. But as you said, the team needs to put together a second half. They need to be able to go ahead and put two halves together, which, they're going to need it in just a couple days when they go on the road to Nebraska.
Yeah, because that's a tough place to play. I mean, it really is. That's not an easy place to play. You need to get your confidence going. You need to see some shots fall, which was nice. That's the other thing. See some shots fall. See them go, go down. Then you can defend. Because no matter what, defense is going to travel. You can play it at home. You can, when you go on the road, it's going to be there for you. So my thing right now, just learn to play without him. Hopefully the shots are going to fall. I mean, because I feel bad for this team right now. There's a lot of hype surrounding this team, and with the injuries and, anything that could go wrong has gone wrong, and nobody's going to feel sorry for you in the Big Ten. They're just not. But right now, for me, from a official standpoint, they're not a factor. Everybody's going to miss a call here or there, and I'm not going to sit and cry about that. But honestly, it's nice to see Morez play. They're letting them play, but it's not out of hand, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, what I think is really good about this is the players can get into a kind of flow in the game when you only have a total of 7 personal fouls called, 4 on Northwestern, 3 on Illinois. We didn't see any acts of brutality. Nobody's doing an El Kabong down the middle, and you're in a situation where we've shot 8 free throws collectively together. Now 6 for Illinois, 2 for Northwestern. But we've seen the offenses go up and down the court. And Ket, I think that lack of fouls has allowed the Illini to push the pace a little bit and make things uncomfortable for Northwestern. And if you're looking at with Northwestern, when there's a lot of whistles, they can slow the game down. And then some of their challenges going up and down a court can be disguised a little bit. And in a game like this that's relatively free flowing, that gives Illinois a big advantage. And then, of course, when you got guys going on heaters, Humrickhouse, started early, Jake Davis, of course, you're shooting 37.5 from the 3. And we've talked about, Illinois needs to be between 35 and 40, and they become a much tougher team to play.
Oh, they do. And, statistically speaking, right now, they've only launched 16 threes in the first half, and they're good looks, and a couple of those with the shot clock running down. But you talk about the style of play. Right now, Northwestern has 21 points. You want to continue to make them play up tempo. You have to force the tempo because that's not what they're good at. Good teams, to me, you force your will on the opponent. It's not vice versa. You don't let the opponent dictate tempo. And when they were up in Evanston, I think Northwestern did that. Illinois has 43 points right now. Like I said to you, out of 43 points right now, you have 2 points from KJ. And I'm good with that. I think that's great. And I think he's looking to get people involved. So that's great right now for Illinois. They're shooting 83% from the free throw line. I just overall, right, this was a good first half. And it was kind of slow to start with, what we talked about. They have 4 points, second chance points. And I know last time people laughed at me when I mentioned the dunks. They're 2 for 2 on their dunks. And right now they got 6 points on their fast break layups, but I really want to see them get that up. I want to see that fast break point total get to about 18 a game. It's only the first half, so there's a lot of possibility where they could get those numbers up. But they're dictating this, and this is exactly what they should do to a team that punished them before up in Evanston.
Yeah, and it's interesting because if Yakachonis comes back and has one of those patented big halves of his that he will have occasionally, that would make you feel really good on a couple of levels because A, Illinois would be scoring points, and then B, he would be getting back into form. But what I really enjoyed about his first half, again, he only had 2 points, but he had 4 rebounds. He had 3 assists, and Caddy only had 1 turnover, and he didn't let any defenders inside on him to get underneath him and cause him problems. I thought that looked good to see him out there, and you could tell that he was playing confidently.
Well, finally nice to see. And some of the turnovers he had, they kind of bailed him out a little bit, which is fine, I guess. But honestly, for the most part, I'm okay with how he played. And, he had one turnover that I thought was kind of bad where he threw a full court pass. And I thought, but it's one. And you know what? You're going to take the good with the bad with him. That's what you're going to get. He's going to turn the ball over occasionally. And, because, he does a really good job of seeing the floor. So I can't sit and be very critical of him and think, okay, he's never going to turn the ball over because that's not realistic. I mean, he's going to at some point in time and because he's trying to make something happen.
Yeah. Yeah, no, if you look at it, folks, just real quick, Humrickhouse has 11, Boswell 6, and Boswell no turnovers. So, again, people have been a little frustrated by that. He's taken that under control. Morez, 5 points, 5 rebounds, 3 block shots, and only 1 personal foul. Trey White with 6 points, highly active. Yakachonis is out there with 2 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Gibbs Lawhorn, 3 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Will Riley with 2 points, 3 rebounds, and Jake Davis with 8 points and 2 boards. So you're seeing a really nice effort for the Illini, shooting 48.5% from the field, shooting 37.5 from the three, and only 5 of 6 from the free throw line, which means to me we're seeing a game that is not marred by an ungodly amount of calls, which makes for a much more entertaining game to watch as a fan. And I got to think, as a player, to be able to go up and down the court, it has to make it a better half as well. Ted, any other thoughts that jump out to you here? I just rattled off a bunch.
Well, I'm just going to be honest with you. You mentioned Colin Boswell, and I'm going to tell you what makes me happy is his shot selection. This first half has been a lot better. I just thought, the last couple of games, I think maybe even with KJ, I think they forced a couple of shots because they felt the need to take that ownership or that leadership to try to take over the game. I think Illinois is a much better team when they're cutting and passing, like I said to you, when the ball doesn't stick. So you Trey White get involved earlier. So I think Kyle Boswell has all the potential to score. I like him not just coming down launching until his percentage goes up or until he knocks him down or has more confidence. Even when he got to the basket a couple of times, he did so and didn't force him up, and he was looking for the open man. And again, I think Trey White is great at cutting. And once Kylan and KJ or even Draymond Gibbs Lawhorn went to the basket, if they were stopped, Trey didn't stand. He automatically cut and he went to the basket.
Yeah. And I think kind of interesting, the one stat that kind of jumped out to me is both teams are on 4 turnovers, but Illinois did have, Northwestern has 7 points off of turnovers and Illinois none. Now, I will say that Illinois has gotten some fast breaks off of some long rebounds that came from threes from Northwestern. But ultimately, Illinois was 6 fast break points to 0 for Northwestern. It's been a game that Illinois has played quite a bit better the first half. And the other thing that we saw is Illinois is in double-digit assists. So they've got 10 assists right now at the half. And I thought there were several examples, Ked, of Illinois taking the extra pass and not always making the shot, but getting a guy wide open when they could have had a harder shot if somebody wasn't willing to sacrifice and make that pass.
That's what Illinois basketball is about. That's what Brad Underwood wants. Guys to get on the floor, play hard, hustle, and make the extra pass. That's what, and it's nice to see. So I just hope to see I think out of all the things that I can get from this podcast and this first half, I think you said it the best. They got to build on this momentum, finish the game, and then you got to take this on the road because this is huge. You don't want to go on the road struggling, going down 0-2. You're losing 2 games, and then all of a sudden you barely beat Northwestern. This is to me a psychological game right now, and you want to build a momentum because now at least if you go on the road to Nebraska, you think you have a legitimate chance of winning, and think instead of thinking, oh my gosh, shots aren't falling, I don't have a chance to win, and we just got to get through it.
Yep. Folks, we will be back exactly 20 minutes after the game for Eye on the Illini Live. So let you get back to the game. Until we see you later, of course, go Illini.